a wonderful welcome to everyone in this room. And the beautiful thing about this room this morning is that I'm having a combination of people here. People who knew me from childhood as a baby, those I grew up with as siblings, the people who played one role or the other in mentoring me to this point, people who are still mentoring me, people I have shared bonds with, people I have mentored and still mentoring, people who I'm growing together with. So it's, a mixed feeling for me because having all of those people come around to support you is a huge one. So I want to say a special thank you to everyone. In any category you find yourself, just know that my heart goes out for you, saying thank you for being here and honoring me with your presence. So I'll just have a quick presentation based on what we have been focusing on in the recent times, and also what I discovered that most parents battle with, which is trying to know what exactly I should be doing at different times and seasons of my family life. A lot of parents are willing to put in the work, but do they know exactly what to do at the different seasons of life? Do they know the right tools to deploy and to get the desired results? So, which is why I'm saying this morning, I want to briefly look at the different roles you can play as a parent, as a family member, as a mentor to a mentee, and to someone, maybe a classroom teacher, anything that you are to a child or to someone who is living under the parents' household. This morning, I just want to put a perspective to your thoughts. It might be something you know, and probably you need more clarity on it, or something you have no idea at all. Whichever side of the divide you find yourself this morning, I'm sure there's something you can pick. So let's run. So today we're looking at roles you can play. That's the title for the different seasons of your life. So parenting, like I said, is a journey of shifting roles. What you are doing with a toddler is different from what you're going to do with a teen. It's also different from what you're going to do with an adult, a young adult who is still in your home. So, but whichever one, the goal is to raise children who are going to become kings, queens, and of course, legacy carriers anywhere they are. Now, let's start with the newborn, 0 to 3 years. These ones are, they're not just only innocents, they need your protection. And so your mentity is to be the guardian angel. You scout at this stage. That's what you do. And what does it mean? You have these Boy Scouts, you have things in the army, in the military, you have people scouting, those who go ahead to make sure that the environment is safe, to make sure that they understand that environment, to know where the enemy is camping, and so put boundaries and say, no, we won't allow this person or those people come over to this place. So at this stage of your life, that's what you're doing. You're creating a safe environment for that. You bring up routines, trying to make sure that the school that they will go, the food that they will eat, the kind of influences you want to allow into the home. It's at this stage you start setting the foundation for it. And so you determine the pace and prepare the environment for that child. That's what you do. So that's what scouting is. And just before I leave this slide, let me say that this is exactly what the Bible was referring to in Numbers 13, when went ahead to scout, to check how the land is, and then they came back with a report. So you go out of the place, you find the kind of school that the child should be, that everybody is in that school or sending your baby to that place. Doesn't mean you would. It's your duty as a parent or as a guardian to go out of your way and make inquiries to be sure that's the kind of dream that you have for your child, that this school, this church, this gathering supports. If you're not doing that, then you are wrong, because this is a time to scout. The next one, 4 to 6. At this stage, you model, because these are the copycats. You don't talk too much. Anything they see you do, that's what they're going to do. So you want them to pray, then you must be seen praying. You want them to study their Bibles, you want them to read a book, you want them to know anything, they have to see you doing it. Is that enough to say that the traffic rule is red, blue, red, yellow, and green? No. And when you reach there, the thing is still in red, you move. If you're having a 46 in that car, believe you me, the fact that you thought that that is a traffic rule and then you're not obeying it, you've already deleted that child from knowing that thing. It will be tough for that child to learn those things when what he or she is seeing in reality is different from what you have mentioned to him. So if you want the children to grow up right, you want them to be the best version of themselves as they're growing, you want them to live all these values we were mentioning in the chat box this morning, it starts at this age. They want to see you practice integrity. They want to see you treat people with love. It's not enough to talk about it. So you are a model. In fact, in my church, we will say role models. And this is how it starts. So you don't gossip about people in their presence. And then when you see those people, you are hugging them. No, it won't work. So live what you teach. That's what we have. The prayer, the respect, the kindness, any value at all. If you want the practicals, the way to achieve this, read your Bibles together. Have meals together. These are moments. If you're the type who drives children to school, it's a good time to also bring up conversations that can be transformational. There may not be a particular time situated to do this, but you have it as the back of your mind as a parent that this is what I should be doing now. So you seize every opportunity you have to achieve that. So let them see you resolve conflict by example. Let them not see you fighting your way through. Let them see you explaining things and living the life that you said you are teaching them. We'll move over to the next age, which is 7 to 12. Now, 7 to 12, the role is changing. You are now an instructor. Because at this age, they want to know why, the why behind the rules. You are saying nobody should get into this place, or nobody should turn on this television for so and so. Nobody should go to this place, or you're not going for that hangout. You're not going for that birthday party. That's fine, mom. That's fine, dad. But can you tell them why? Because whenever the why of a thing is not known, like they say, abuse will always follow. The thing is that you might be irritated as a parent at this time, like, why am I explaining? No, you are not reducing the potency of your influence. No, you are not. Rather, you are raising a child who is aware, who will become emotionally aware because you are equipping that child to also internalize the attribute of questioning status quo. That's how it starts. All the great men and women of the world that you're hearing, if you also take time to look at their backgrounds, you will see that these are children who started asking questions before they started developing the different apps that you're hearing. Because the mind to critically want to know starts at this early age. And if you're going to be a great parent raising children in this 21st century, then be ready to also upgrade yourself to become knowledgeable enough to explain why you are asking them to do what you want them to do. So I would employ that at this point, you have patience to be able to pass across this information. You can do that using stories, because in some instances, the children might have a knowledge of who you're trying to describe or the situation you're trying to describe. So in order to still maintain that note of confidence and confidentiality, you can use stories with different names to denote them. You're trying to read scriptures to them. Can you bring it alive? It's scriptural. You're telling them about the Egyptians. You're telling them about the Amorites. You're telling them, can you bring it home and make it explainable to them? That way you are sure that you are communicating. And when they are taking up that mantle, of responsibility, they would do it with everything within them because they would defend the truth, having been taught the truth. So at this time, you have life skills that will help the children. That's when chores, teamwork, problem-solving skills. This is a good age to develop it. And so by so doing, you see how they can coordinate. It's not enough to have a child who is hardworking, but when you put him in the midst of other children, it's a problem. He or she cannot coordinate. He can't team up with others. You give chores and the child is not finishing it, you're saying no, no problem. No, there's a problem because it's the same spirit of not wanting to finish something that the child is going to carry on. If nobody is trying to instruct to say, do you know that you need to finish your chores before you can receive this reward or whatever thing you have promised, right? So this is the instruction age. Now we'll move to the next age, which is age 10 to 12. You're a friend here. I'll tell you why you're a friend. You're a friend because we just stepped into the 2 digits. All the while we've been looking at one digits, but there's a difference here. We have a 2 digits effect, and it comes with some level of awareness. It's no longer the way it was for us. So you have the room, they have the room for expression. They have been with you, they are seeing things now. They want to talk. So that means you take the opposite role, you listen more than you talk, right? You build trust as you listen to them. That's what friends do. You can only say somebody is your friend if you're sharing some level of secrecy with that person. You can only say somebody is your friend when you know that if you are hurt, if you feel pressed, you can knock and say, please, I need to talk to you now, or I need to see you. And you can call a friend anytime. You all will agree with me, even if it's midnight. So that's what you do with this age. This age, they want to start testing independence. So let them talk. Let them ask you. Play games with them. That's what you do. It creates that environment, that friendly environment that will make them feel, oh, is this time that they will show you downstairs? Is this time that they want to know what I tell you? They will mention words, trending words that you've not heard before, and you want to find out what it is exactly. So try to not take yourself so seriously. Come down to their age and play so that you can build the trust that, oh, I'm mommy, I'm daddy, I'm auntie, I'm uncle, but I can build with you. Feel free to tell me who is molesting you. Feel free to tell me what you're thinking that is going on in your body. This is the time to do that. And then we'll move to 13 to 16, which is the official teen age. At this time, you become the coach. And what do coaches do? Coaches generally guide people. That's what they do. And how do they do that? They train. They want to be sure that all the information that you need at this time, that you have it. They guide you with love. They try to give you room to think and share with them what you think. So at this age, they have identity issues and they have peer pressure. So they are kind of, where am I? Because this is really predominantly secondary school age, if you agree with me. So they are coming up, they want to understand what's going on around them. So you encourage them to live correct. A lot of people are doing things together in their classes or in churches, a kind of people are dressing in a certain way. And oftentimes you will agree with me that at this teenage age, there's this acceptance. If you dress in this pattern, then we accept you, or we know you as a social butterfly, we know you as an influencer. So that's your son, that your daughter wants to feel among also. They want that kind of haircuts. They want that kind of dress. So as the coach, can you shed light for the child, for the teenager, to say, while this might be good, this particular style is not good for our own family values. It's not good for our faith, the faith we represent, the Christian faith we stand for. This kind of hairstyle is not good. This choice of words is not what a believer should use. It's not every hashtag or trending words that our sons and daughters should emulate. This is the time to encourage and correct in love, because believe you me, the pressure is real. And because the pressure is real, it's very tough at this time to stand differently. So, as a coach, this is not the time to use kids' glove to hold things. Explain to your son and to your daughter, while they can't solve a problem at the same level of knowledge with which the problem was caused. If they want to be different, then they need to move a step higher. And that step higher is what you're teaching them. That's why you want him or her to dress differently. That is why you want them to take a different stand so that they can become the true influencers of their generation. So you allow them to take responsibility. And trust me, when they do these things, celebrate them, because it's really tough to stand out where a lot of people are moving in one direction, but it's doable. That's what I'm saying. And one of the ways to do it is for you to turn to become a coach at this time for them. If you have anybody in your home within this age bracket, these are the things that are going through, and this is what you should be doing at this time. It's not a time for you to just be throwing energy around. No, try to know how to make them know how to stand for the difference, because the difference that they're standing for is what will clearly set them apart. And then we have 17 to 21. And these are our young adults. These are the ones entering the uni. These are the ones that after secondary school, they have their dreams and they want to look like where their dreams are going to. So they want your counsel, not lectures. Not that you will now wake up, you bore them with talk, 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 talk. No. I usually advise that at this age, you have lots of wisdom to share. You necessarily do not come out to be screaming, because if you have done this work well, starting from 0 to 16, I am expecting that some level of knowledge is being added to this child up to this point, where all you will be doing more will be to become that mentor, that advisor, somebody that can always give that pathway to say, okay, now you are going into uni, you're going to be exposed to more knowledge. They're leaving you. That's why I said these are the uni people. They're no longer home where you go from school every day, you come back from work, you meet them. No. Once you have a child who has entered the university, whether the university is at the backyard of your house or in front of your house, you can no longer boast of having that child throughout the whole year, for the whole 12 months of the year. It's not possible. Even if they are going from home, I can assure you that they'll be spending more time in school, and even sometimes want to move out with friends to go and begin to find. So, like, what can I do with my hands? What can I do with the brain that I'm being taught about in the university? So it's one thing at this age for you to now know how to equip them with advice and not just cancel, so that when they move in or when they move out to the new place, they will stand out. And then finally, we have the 22 to 25. This one, at this point, they're either having people to come and take them and say, oh, mom, dad, this is somebody I want to live and spend the rest of my days of my life with. So you are the chief consultant. Nothing fussy again. No flogging. No too much shouting. Because even here, if you don't take your time, if you're saying no, 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 like they say in Nigeria, they feel running with that person that you're saying that you don't want. So support with control. You're a consultant. You know what consultants do? When they hire you into a company, you're coming in with knowledge to help them, strategies to help them solve what they couldn't solve or what they don't have time to solve. So when they come to you, you offer your counsel in such a way to make them know that from now on, you're on your own. Any decision you make, the consequences are with you. So, and it's your duty to do that, encourage them, pray, inspire, and of course, help them build value-based decisions. Because when they come with the option and say, I want to get married now, and you're saying, don't you think it is best to get a job? I want to start, I want to go and have a job, I want to get a job, or I want to change this job and be in this location. You're trying to let them know, oh, don't you think that this area is with high insecurity? Or don't you consider doing this business? From childhood, you have always shown some passion in this area. That's what consultants do. And that's what you do for your 22 to your 25-year-old who is still with you until they win off you by having their own homes or building their own family. And at this point, you can now begin to visit or be able to beat your chest and say, yes, I'm having my legacy being kept somewhere, and my legacy building somewhere. And so, in conclusion, just to leave you today, I want you to know that parenting evolves. But one thing is constant, the love. If you look at everything I have said here, presence, from zero to the land, all of them required presence if you must achieve it. And so the earlier as parents that you understand your role in any season, the easier it will be to guide your children into becoming strong, godly adults who will live by values and leave a legacy.